is where you go. Welcome to the Mizzle Dub Show, where they know sports. If you wanna know about sports, this is where you go.
First down, touchdown, first down, touchdown, yeah. 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 Touchdown, yeah. Touchdown, yeah. Touchdown, yeah.
Well, hi. It is
Hello.
officially Christmas Eve. So,
Indeed.
welcome
Yes,
to our late night edition, number 144 of the Mizzle and Dub Show. He is Mizzle. I'm Dub.
Yeah, what a wonderful day of sports it was yesterday. Just it was too much for me to try to keep up before I had to go to work. I mean, I
It
started
sure
off
was. It
watching
really
boxing.
was.
I started watching boxing at like 8 o'clock in the morning because it was in Saudi Arabia, which was beautiful. Tremendous prelims. Tremendous prelims. Let me say that again. I didn't get to see none of the main fights. I didn't get to see Wilder. I didn't get to see Joshua, or I didn't get to see Bevo. I knew what was going to kind of happen with those main event fights, but those prelims, whoa, oh, brother, I was in heaven. I totally forgot about other sports. I was focused on boxing. It was great. It was great. Those prelims was nice. The zone did the right thing with that. Cousin,
Wrong.
you are not wrong for that. And what I will go and say with that is, now how do we feel about that Anthony Joshua Wilder fight? I don't give two fucks about it now. I really don't, because I think Joshua's going to mop the floor with him. He looks for that one punch all the time. I would figure that he would be a boxer right now. Learn the jab to set up that one punch. But like you said, the boxing chat we were in. So is he gonna blame his attire? Was the crown too heavy? You know. So I don't know. But yeah, Wilder is not. I'm not impressed with him anymore like I used to be. Big Wilder fan, but it just seems like that the Gypsy King took a lot out of him.
He- You're 6'5", 6'6". How do you not learn not to use your jab?
And he has reach. That's the thing. He has reach. I am going to apologize in advance, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like we're going to have the same old technology issues. So just continue to bear with us until we figure out this issue. I don't know what it is. We were having issues even before we came upon and started live. So just bear with us. But back to Wilder. I just don't know what this man can do. You have a reach. Use your jab. I mean, you set your jab up to use the lethal punch or the one hitter quitter that you're looking for at all times. Uh, it, he doesn't seem like the same old boxer that he was that was exciting to watch, and it just seems like that Fury just took his soul away from him because hasn't been the same boxer since those matches, and maybe the layoff he took too long to get back in the ring or whatever the case may be, but he's not the same boxer that he used to be that I enjoyed watching. Uh, I didn't get to see none of the highlights, but just from reading online and hearing from a few trusted viewers that I trust that watch boxing, it just seemed like Wilder just didn't have it. It just seems like he's not the same old boxer that he was that that I was accustomed to looking at. So I don't know. Just wait till my brother gets back here that he has to look like he had something that he wanted to say before technology decided it wanted to get in the way like it always does. But hopefully, man, maybe something. This is something that Wilder can bounce back from. You never know. It just takes that a couple of ticks to get your butt kicked and to then to figure out what you need to do to to get back to that form. I believe honestly when he fired the his trainer after the Fury fight, I believe that was the beginning of his downfall.
Agreed.
But as you were saying, sir, you had something to say before technology decided it wanted to get in the way.
I was just saying, why are you not utilizing jab with your height? And
Yes.
I hate to keep going back to Lennox Lewis. Most people call him boring, but at the same time, Lennox used his reach and would jab you to death, and that's how he set you up to use his powerful right hand. And I'm just saying, Wilder was just getting hit. And again, give Joseph Parker credit. He won and earned that victory, and really won it in a landslide. He really, really did.
Really? So that
I
unanimous decision wasn't even close. I mean, I know it was a unanimous decision, but how was it? How was the scorecard looking?
118, 111, 118, 110, 120 to 108.
Oh, so he wasn't doing nothing then.
No, no. And at the
So he
end, when
just
they're
showed up.
announcing this, so when Michael Buffer was giving the announcement, he really was looking like he won the fight. It looked all.
Wow, wow. So he really thought he was in the fight the whole time, and
Yeah,
he wasn't even
yeah.
close.
He really thought that. Yeah. No.
That's pathetic. That is that. Well. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about Wilder anymore. I'm just going to continue to say it just looks like that Tyson Fury just took his soul from him, and he has not been the same since those matches. And yet, and still, we're still not taking accountability for his boxing. The one time it was his equipment was too heavy, and he didn't get in rhythm to fight. Okay, really, really, really. You got your ass whipped, bro. Just a minute. Just come out and say it. And then instead of taking accountability, he fires his trainer. So who is it now? Who are you gonna complain, or who are you gonna say that the reason why you didn't win this fight? Come on, man. Get it together. I'm a big Wilder fan. I like Wilder. I think he has potential to be a great heavyweight, but he has to learn how to box. And we've been saying that since we've been watching him before he got somewhat of a big name. When he was just ESPN. I'm like, this dude can be something. He just needs to learn how to jab and box. So who is it now? Who are you gonna complain, or who are you gonna say that the reason why you didn't win this fight? Come on, man.
I mean, it's quite mind-boggling to me.
I like Wilder. I think he has potential to be a great heavyweight.
It really is. It's really mind-boggling. I don't get it because the talent is there. We know it's there.
All
The
day.
talent is immensely there. But it's just like, why are you not harnessing and applying your craft? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. It does not. Does not.
I will never understand it, bro. It's when the potential is there, and you can see the quality that he will be a good boxer, but he doesn't take. Well, we don't know. We're just outsiders talking what we do on our show. I'm just telling you what I see from my eyes, and I don't know. Maybe you need to call back his old trainer and get some lessons. And your microphone is muted, sir. So yeah, maybe Wilder will get his itch together. So do we really need the do we really need the Joshua? Do we need the Joshua Wilder fight? Do we actually need that fight?
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but yeah, it sounds like you must can't hear me. Oh
No,
boy.
nobody can hear me.
No, yes, we can hear you.
Can
Yes.
anybody hear me at all?
Yes.
Any sound? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, you can hear me now. Why can't I hear you? What the hell? Come on, technology. The fuck.
Well, as my brother is trying to get
Now
in.
I can't hear you, boy. No, stop it.
One day we will get this right and get back on the same page like we used to be. I don't know what's going on right now.
Oh, there we go.
But
Okay.
we're good.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're good. Now we're good. Okay.
All right,
But
there we
I
go.
mean, I'm just saying that. I mean, Wilder just he just needs to go back to the basics or hang up the gloves. I mean,
Oh,
you were fantastic WBC champion for a long time. Nobody can take that away
yes,
from you.
yes.
Um, you did defend your title, albeit against not so fancy opponents. And then the one time you challenged opponents for the world title. I mean, I think his pride got hurt when he thought he ended Tyson Fury the first fight, and Fury got back up. He's just like, "Whoa, wait a minute, that was my best punch," and he got
Yes.
back up. Damn it, what am I to do? And I think it showed, and thus, hence why he's starting to blame everybody else. I mean, at least when Tyson got his ass kicked, he would tell you, "I got my ass kicked." He didn't
Well,
sugarcoat
he got
anything.
his ass kicked what one
I
time?
mean, that's what most good fighters do. If truthfully, one time, yes. Well, the last fight he just quit, but truthfully, the only two times, well, three times. The only three times Mike really got his ass kicked was Buster Douglas, obviously. The first time he fought
Oh, we're
Evander,
talking
and then
Mike
when he
Tyson.
fought
I thought you
Lennox.
were talking
Those are
about Fury. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about Fury.
no.
I
I
thought
really
you.
truly
Yeah,
haven't seen Fury get his ass kicked, other than when a guy who knocked his ass down.
well, yeah. If we're
That's
talking
about the
about
only
Mike
time.
Tyson, you could say Holyfield, Douglas, and
Yes,
Lennox. Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Lewis and Lennox.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And he'll tell you that. We clearly
Yeah,
know
I mean,
his mind
yeah,
wasn't
I
there
mean,
when he fought Buster Douglas.
no. I mean, come on now. As our little big brother said, they lubed his face. They lubed his freaking face
They were wiping him.
because they
They
left
didn't
his
have
eye.
no gel, so they were using
Yeah, they
condoms.
had no.
His face.
Yes, they had no eye swell, and they were using literally condoms on his face. They lubed his freaking face like it's the thing to do.
Fight was sabotaged from the beginning. That Mike wasn't supposed to win that fight from the beginning. If you're not prepared in your corner to fight, the fight was sabotaged from the beginning, and you can't tell me no other different.
Yeah, but I mean, on one hand, Deontay Wilder did not do what he was supposed to do. Anthony Joshua held up his end of the bargain by making quick work, knocking out his opponent in 5 rounds, getting a TKO victory. So now that ruins everything because as it was coming into this event, they both agreed to fight each other on March the 9th, which more than likely was going to take place in Saudi Arabia. But now because Wilder did not live up to the end of his bargain, now who knows what's going to happen?
Nobody want to watch that shit.
The fight,
Nobody want to watch that
no,
shit.
no,
The Zone
no,
can't even
no.
promote that fight no more.
And by the way, what is up? Well, and this is something our good friend Mr. Vasquez brought up in the boxing chat that we're in. He was like, "What's up with the doggone camera work that they were doing?" And then, of course, takes us back to what we were used to for so long with the great quality of camera work that Showtime and HBO did for so many years Um, this is something that, and I was saying, Amazon Prime Video, pay attention. You put a lot of money into this to now take over the Premier Boxing Champions mantle. So you gotta pay attention to make sure that you bring good quality stuff. And not only that, you gotta hire good quality announcers.
Please do.
That's always a thing you must do. It makes me wonder. Now I doubt I doubt he'll do it, but I mean, if you gave Al Michaels all that money to call Thursday Night Football on Prime Video, I don't know if I'm not making a phone call to one Mr. Jim Lampley saying, "Do you want to get back in the fight game? And if you do, how much do you want?" So, if you're Jeff Bezos,
Well,
I'm just saying you might want to back up, as you would say, back up the Brinks truck to his house. And be like, "Mr. Lampley, how would you like to get back in the fight game? How much will it take?" But
well, I'm glad that
nonetheless,
Timothy Bradley is part of ESPN, so he can stay there. I don't need him on Prime Video or any other
Max
resources.
Max Kellerman, how much do you want to come on Prime Video? Andre Ward, how much do you want to
I
come
will,
on Prime Video?
I will send a helicopter and the Brinks truck for those two names. I can listen to Max Kellerman talk sports. I mean, excuse me. I can listen to Max talk boxing, sun up, sun down, all day. Oh, that man is knowledgeable when it comes to the gloves, to the leather.
You can take a nap, wake back up, and still don't miss a beat. Like, where's it? Oh,
No,
okay, he's on this one. Okay, all right. Well,
Max is that
um,
good.
yes, he is a tremendous historian of the sport, just like Mike Tyson is. But Wilder might be time to hang up the gloves. Joshua,
Wow.
who knows what happens between Fury and Usyk when they unify the heavyweight
Ooh,
championship of the world, and
ooh.
also Dmitry Bivol. That man is a problem. That man
That's all I.
is tremendous. Well, we knew he was skilled. That's not here nor there. We knew the man is skilled.
100%.
But I mean, he really just showed off his displayed skill today or early this morning or early yesterday morning because obviously they were in Saudi Arabia where apparently all the money
Yes.
for sports is. But he put
Yes.
on a good show. Who knows who's next in his crosshairs, of course. Mizzle and I at verbatim have already said who we want to see. Damn it, Canelo. Don't make my namesake look bad. Fight the man. Fight David Benavidez, please. 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 Don't duck the man. The man is really begging to fight you. Don't do see.
Talk to the
If
people.
me and Mizzle were the age we were now, back in the glory days when Hagler fought Hearns, Hagler fought
Oh God.
Duran.
Oh.
If we were doing this show in that time frame,
Oh. Oh.
I'm just man.
Stop trying to give me goosebumps right now. Damn it. Because
Tell me I'm wrong.
back in the day, we didn't have to beg for these fights. These
No.
fighters wanted it. The
Yes.
promoters made it happen. Nowadays, we have fighters ducking other fighters because they know that other fighter will whoop that ass possibly. Back in the day, there wasn't no ducking. If a boxer talked shit to another boxer, the deal got done in about a week. Back in the day, it wasn't no,
And
oh,
by
we got
God,
to go through this. Oh, we got to go through that. No. They fought back in the
and
day.
by God, with the exception of one, you would get a rematch. You would get a trilogy out of that.
Yes. Brother, we were
You get a
just born
trilogy.
in the wrong era. That's all it sports wise. I
Yeah,
love that I was born
yeah,
that I'm an 80s, that I got the 80s, the 90s. I'm saying we were just born in the wrong sports era.
yeah,
Because I
yeah.
mean,
You're not wrong.
thank thank goodness that we saw football when it was football. Imagine us being
Yeah,
trying to watch this piece of shit of football that's nowadays. We would hate it. Good thing we got the Ronnie Lots and we got the vision of Tatum and Sean Taylor before they decided to take him away. Sean Taylor would probably be the most fine NFL player in the league if he was still alive. the way he plays. He will be he will be the Draymond
You're
Green
not
of the NFL.
wrong.
I promise you.
You're not wrong.
So
Well,
I'm just blessed that we got
well,
that era.
one of the
We got
great
the
sound bites that the great one of the great sound bites that the great David Deacon Jones gave us, the Hall of Famer for the Rams, of course, the inventor of
uh-oh.
the head slap. He said, "If I was getting paid the money they was getting paid, I'd be broke because I would get fined too damn much because he would use the head slap so damn much. Because I mean,
Yes.
that's how he got most of his sex by doing the head slap.
Yes. Now the only
But transitioning,
so the only
but
thing that was
transitioning
suck
on to
before
the
we transition
NFL,
before,
there were
the only thing that was suck back in the day, they were spearing people to make a tackle. That shit won't fly nowadays.
no, you cannot do the Bill Goldberg in the NFL. You cannot do that. Can't do it. Can't do it. Transitioning into two games of the NFL. Um,
Oh, which one are we starting with?
we
Which
have
one?
a mod. We have a mod. You know where I'm going. We have a motto on this show, and dadgummit, we should slap our own selves because we broke the rule. But for everybody that
And
was
I said
saying
it.
maybe it's time for him to
Ooh,
leave,
I said it. I said it. Wait, I said it when we made the pick. I'm sorry to interrupt you right now, but damn it, I'm picking up the microphone. I said it when we made the pick. I said, you know what? And you can go back and watch the last show. I promise you, it was there. Mike Tomlin is going to tell us to eat and hold the beer. I promise you, I said something into that diameter. It may not be verbatim, quote unquote, but I said on the show, Mike Tomlin is going to say, you know what? You should have picked this. And damn it, I should have went with my
and
gut.
at and and at the big catch bottle in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, terrible towels waving. To quote the great Lee Corso, Mike Tomlin said, "Not so fast, my friends." To the atonement of a 34-11 beatdown of the Cincinnati Bengals in Pittsburgh. Mason Rudolph, who hadn't started in 2 years, um, looked very good running the offense. And last night we got the George Pickens that I was expecting him to be coming out of the University of Georgia because he definitely balled yesterday to the atonement of if I can if technology would stop being crappy right about now, since it's being
80
crappy with
yarder
everything
was kind
else.
of impressive.
But
I'll
Mr.
say that. The
Pickens,
80 yarder was impressive.
yeah, yeah, he was. But to the atonement of if he would stop buffering, Mr. Pickens had 4 catches for a buck 95 and two
Wait, wait, wait,
touchdowns.
wait,
So
wait,
half of his four
wait,
catches
wait, wait. He only had 4 catches.
and half of them found the end zone.
Uh, I guess the two are the important ones, I guess.
Well, when you're averaging 48 yards a catch,
Oh,
I mean that's
that's it.
that's a good average. That's a good average for only having that's a good average for having catches in the game. You got four,
That's it. Now, wait, my
and you're
question
averaging
is,
almost 50 yards a
was he
catch.
run blocking? Was he run blocking?
Well,
That
from what
means
I
no.
saw, because this game was going on while I was working doing the 9 to 5 job. No, from what I saw, I couldn't tell, but I mean, mainly it was the Steelers' defense that was putting in work and making things uncomfortable for one
Oh,
Jake Browning,
okay.
as the Antioch, California native, Mr. Najee Harris, he found the end zone as well. He ran for a solid carries, 19 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. Um, but what it came down to was just the Steelers just imposing their will. And again, well, going for 7 on 14 on third downs does it.
That will
that
help
means
tremendously.
you're hitting at 50%.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's gonna help tremendously for sure.
and it also helps when you force it also helps when you force three turnovers, which the Steelers defense did, and turning those into points also helped their cause. But I mean, the Steelers, I mean, they're still in the thick of it. They're still in the playoff hunt. I mean, granted, right now they're looking up at the Texans and the Colts, which unfortunately for the Steelers, they lost to both of those teams. So one and or both has to lose in order for the
Yeah.
Steelers to climb back into that spot because as it stands right now, the Colts have the last playoff spot with the 8-6 record, and they're playing a team that they should beat in the Falcons on Sunday. But as we know, any given Sunday can happen, which has been proven this season for a lot of teams. So right now, as it stands, up to the minute in the NFL, Baltimore's still the 1 seed, Dolphins 2 seed, Chiefs 3 seed, Jacksonville 4, Cleveland 5. The Bills, who got a big win tonight in last night in Inglewood, they're at 6, and the Colts right now holding the last spot. But
Mm.
of course, with the Steelers, I mean, despite all that, the Steelers have a 4-1 division record. Steelers have
Ooh.
played their division very, very well,
In the
and
Mike
that
Tomlin
might
era, they always
and that
have.
might come.
That's it's not a shock per se.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, interesting. But there was a, well, I'll give the Inglewood Chargers credit. They they
Mm-hmm.
they came to play.
They had a
It was
chance.
shocking.
They had a chance.
Well, they actually led, but the Bills circling the
Yes.
wagons went downfield, and Tyler Bass kicks a game-winning field goal in the last seconds to give the Bills
And the
a
Bills were in a
24
given move.
22 win over the Chargers. Yeah, they were. The Bills turned the ball over 3 times, but unfortunately for the Chargers,
Field
they kept
goals.
kissing their sister because
Yeah.
a- after they score their one touchdown with the Easton Stick run to go up, I mean the Chargers were charging as they went up 10-0, and that's when the comeback came back for Bills Mafia. But yeah, when you have to keep settling for field goals,
Yep. You don't win.
I mean, unless your defense is on point, that's not going to be a very good thing.
Yeah.
But in the end, the Bills go to 9-6, so the Bills officially have a winning season. Chargers go to 5-10. Allen, uh, 15 of 21 for 237, a touchdown, interception. Easton Stick was 23 of 33 for 215. Cook ran for 70 yards. Eckler ran for 65.
Ooh.
Gabe Davis 4 for a buck 30, and the 57-yard touchdown. Palmer had 5 catches for uh, 47 yards to lead the Chargers. The Bills still trying to keep pace with the Dolphins in the AFC East. I
They have
think
it.
they do have one more matchup against each other,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. Yes, yes.
I think
So the Bills and the Dolphins, the last Sunday of the year, la-
oh,
last Sunday of the year in January, the Bills and Dolphins will play in Miami. So the NFC East has not been decided yet, and who knows? The Dolphins have a tough task against the Cowboys on Sunday, so it will not be easy for
do they really?
this NFC East
Do they?
division. Well, now something my good friend Mr. Chris Vera brought up to us earlier today on the Talking Ish with Dub and Chris that you can catch on YouTube and on the Vegas High Media Network. Um, and this is a true fact. He says the Cowboys, which they have not, this is true, the Cowboys have not lost back-to-back games all season long. So whenever they've had a loss, they have bounced back and have gotten the win. Will that trend continue? I don't know. But again, if they can get pressure on Tua, which is, I mean, that's with any quarterback. If you can get pressure on any quarterback, you can always rattle their feathers, for lack of a better term. But again, Bills get the win, Steelers get the win. keeping their playoff hopes alive. And of course, we will recap what happens later on today with another show about week 16 of the NFL. But right
Yes.
now, we will national and first
It was
off,
a
let me just say
it was a good day yesterday.
there was no
Well, not
defense
yesterday.
played in Los Angeles.
Oh, well, is there ever?
But if you want to go back to Friday, which we can well, with the Clippers, no, but we can go back to, yeah, I did say that, and I don't care. Um,
As you should not care, says the Mizzle and Dub Show.
well, that's just how I feel. But let's uh let's go back to Friday,
Oh,
where happened
a good day.
in Philadelphia, as there was a trio, a trio of players that scored in the 30s, as Maxi, Embiid, and Tobias Harris joined the party as the
Hello.
Sixers handled business against the Toronto Raptors on Friday night by a score of 121 to 111. And of course, if Philly wins, that means Elton John is singing some Philadelphia freedom here on the Mizzle and Dub Show, because Elton John lives and breathes that Philadelphia freedom. Because when he was born and raised, he raised the flag. But Embiid had. Now, this has been impressive. He is the last 10 games. He has put up 30 and 10 in the last 10 games. But it was Tobias that led the way with 33 for Philadelphia, as the Sixers put their mark to 20 and 8 on the season. And
That's all I've been for.
I know
That's
you
all
were
I was-
hesitant of Nick Nurse being the head. You were a little hesitant on Nick Nurse being the head coach of Philadelphia, but nonetheless, it has turned out so far so good in Philly with a 20-8 record, one of the top
Yeah.
records in the association.
Yes. Well, you know
But I
here.
mean, it just
I,
wasn't those three. It was just
I will literally sit here and I will admit when I'm wrong, and I love to be proven wrong. I, I, I want that, especially if it's for my organizations that I like. Hell, me and you were kind of skeptical of Steve Kerr. We
yes,
didn't know how we felt about
yes,
him.
yes, we were.
All he
I mean, yeah. All he has done is won 4 championships and has gone to 6 appearances in the NBA Finals. Now, again, when this happened, me and Mizzle the culture and gave the Warriors an identity. And yes, you can say the first championship in 2014, 2015, Steve Kerr won that with Mark Jackson's players. I think anyone that's a true fan of the Golden State Warriors can say that, and they can admit that. Now, the other 3, that's all Kerr and Bob Myers. But the first one, the very first one, if you are a true fan of this team, you have to realize and understand that Steve Kerr won that first championship with mainly the core that Mark Jackson helped put together.
because they were already in the playoffs.
It showed that way because a couple of the players, like Curry, like Green Maverick, the night they won that title in Cleveland, they came over and shook his hand and recognized that without him, they wouldn't have gotten to this. Now, unfortunately for Mark Jackson, for whatever reason, he seemed to can't get a job coaching, which is a shame. He should get at least one more shot at it, but we could do a whole show about that, but that's here nor there. But speaking of that team that does play in the Bay Area.
Oh yeah, that Friday. That's why I said it was
Chase Center
today, because one team took care of business And then, as my brother said, there's another team in San Francisco that plays at the Chase Center, and that California love.
That also
And
took well, yeah, they definitely play to their abilities,
oh,
and
and by
to the
the
tone of
yep,
they've won 5 straight games. Did I mention they won 5 straight? Because they've won 5 straight games, folks.
what
And
did I
yeah, that team, by the way, known
say?
as the Golden State Warriors. It got started on with a comeback win against the Celtics. Then it turned into a big win over the Wizards as Curry shot 3 points and had 30 points in 27 minutes playing to give the Warriors a 129-118 victory over the Washington Wizards, as the Wizards are now 5-23. But it was balanced scoring. Poze had 10, Clay had 20, Kuminga had 22, Sarge 13 off the bench. Trace Jackson Davis continues to impress. 10 points, 15 boards. Paul had 10 assists, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, as the Warriors had 33 assists on their 47 made baskets. When that happens, that means the offense is flowing. Then fast forward to last night, and the Warriors took care of business against the Portland Trailblazers. And the Warriors, in addition to winning 5 straight games, are back over 500. And there was a Klay Thompson fury as opposed to the Curry flurry, as Klay had 11 straight points for the Warriors. And ever since that benching in Phoenix, Arizona, when he did not play in the fourth quarter, something has lit up in Klay Thompson to where Klay is starting to look like his old self. Actually, Klay led the Warriors tonight in scoring. Klay was, actually, the Splash Brothers had a throwback game because they combined for a double nickel of the Warriors, 126. Klay had 28. Curry had 18. Even though Curry didn't shoot the ball from three so well, Curry was 11-18 shooting. Klay, on the other hand, was 11 of 16 shooting, 6 of 10 from three to lead the Warriors with 28. Kuminga had 11. Looney had 6 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. Um, Jackson Davis again, 13 points off the bench. Moses Moody, 11 points off the bench. Sarge had 8 off the bench. And the Warriors just are now getting it done. They really didn't need the 3-point ball, as they had enough. And the Warriors playing some good ball, as now they will travel to the Mile High City for, of course, the Christmas Day special against the Nuggets. But just to recap the NBA from Friday, we'll start there. We already talked about the Warriors beating the Wizards 129-118, Sixers beating the Raptors 121-111, the Nuggets beating the Nets 122-117, Heat beating the Hawks 122-113, Rockets smashed the Mavericks 122-96, and the Suns let the Kings light the beam in Sacramento 120-105. That was on Friday. Yesterday, we had the Trailblazers, of course, losing to the Warriors 120-106. The Bucks beat the Knicks 130-111. As we said, there was no defense played in Los Angeles, as the Boston Celtics put up 145 on the Clippers and beat the Clippers 145-108. Tatum had 30 to lead Boston, along with 20 from Holiday, 24 from Brown, 18 from White. Brissett had 12 off the bench. Queta had 14 off the bench. Boston goes to 22-6. The Nuggets beat the Hornets 102-95. Michael Porter scored 22 to lead Denver. Yeah, I guess the walk and despite all that, Jokic was only 1 assist away from doing what he normally does: wake up out of bed and get a triple double.
He mustn't have his orange
And
juice.
Mizzle's Orlando Magic go to 17-11 as they beat the Pacers 117-110. Paolo Banchero scored 34 as the Magic snapped their 4-game losing streak and get back on the winning track. Rockets beat the Pelicans 106-104. Grizzlies beat the Hawks 125-119. John Morant scores 30. And the Grizzlies 3-0 since John Morant has made his long-awaited return back to the association. Good for him. Good for Memphis.
That run to come to an end
Oh, the
pretty soon.
Detroit Pistons. It
Oh,
will.
not
But as far as the Detroit Pistons, oh God, 26 consecutive losses. You're
ouch.
you're almost of you're. What can you say? Because I mean,
They have a hell of a coach. That's the thing
they
that sucks.
lost
Damn good
126.
coach.
They lost. Yeah, they lost 126 to 115. They lost 126 to 115.
Oh,
The Pistons had five guys in double figures,
oh,
and it's just like what something is. I don't know. It's almost like the point where you're starting to feel bad for them. But
yeah.
they lose their 26 straight. They beat the Nets 126-115. Jazz beat the Raptors 126-119. Cavaliers beat the Bulls 109-95. The Mavericks score 144 and beat the Spurs 144 to 119. And the other walking triple double had a triple double. Of course, we're talking
Oh,
about the one and the only Mr. Luka Doncic.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had 39 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. Like I said, Luka and Jokic, the only two that just wakes up out of bed and says, you know what, I'm just going to mess around and get one. Why not? Um,
Why not?
the Timberwolves, best record in the West, told the Sacramento Kings, you will not be lighting the beam tonight. They beat the Kings 110 to 110 to 98. Anthony Edwards had 34 points to lead the T-Wolves. McDaniels had
Killing.
20, Anderson 10, Gobert almost had a 20-20 game. He had 21 points, 17 rebounds. Conley had 12, 7 and 9. He almost messed around and got a triple double. Of course, Edwards led the way with 34 points and 10 assists. Fox led the way for Sacramento with 27, but big win goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And unfortunately, that damn team in Los Angeles won a game. LeBron had 40, and they needed all, and they needed all of his 40
Yeah, they
to get
did.
by a very good OKC team, 129 to 120. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander had 34 to lead the Thunder, as the Lakers go to 16 to 14 on the year, and the Thunder go to 18 and 9. And a a huge upset happened today in
Really.
college basketball, which is shocking. Number 4 Arizona goes down in double overtime to FAU. Yes, the same
No.
FAU team that got to the Final Four last year. Yes, um, the number 4th ranked Arizona Wildcats upset by the
Wow.
Owls of Florida Atlantic in
Wow.
double overtime in a fantastic game. Ain't that? And that game happened here in Las Vegas. I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm, I'm mad. Even though I could have not gone because the game took place at 12 noon and I was at work, but doggone it. That would have been a
No,
dog.
to do
That would have been
just
a nice
there.
game to see. Um,
Yes.
but just to go through your top 25, Ole Miss ranked 25th, beats Southern Miss 89-72. Uh, Memphis beats Vanderbilt by 2, 77-75. And the Johnnies gave it all, but UConn barely escapes with a 69-65 victory. And BYU puts up 101 points. Yikes.
Oh,
That that's scary. Tomorrow on Christmas Eve in the top 25 of men's college basketball. Not a lot of rankings, but there will be 4 games. Temple in Portland, TCU in Hawaii, UMass against Old Dominion, and the Wolfpack against Georgia Tech in these tournaments. And then everything will go. So your current ranking so far right now in men's college basketball: Purdue at number 1, Kansas number 2, the Cougars number 3. Obviously, Arizona will dip because they lost. They're coming at 4. UConn 5, Marquette 6, Oklahoma 7th, 8th, Tennessee. 9th, Kentucky. Baylor at 10. Tar Heels at number 11. Creighton at 12. 11 are at 12. 13 is Illinois. FAU at 14. Obviously, FAU will go up with their win over Arizona. Gonzaga at 15. Colorado State at 16. BYU. BYU is a good team. Watch out for BYU. I saw them live against NC State. BYU is good. Watch out for them.
Yes, they are.
Clemson at number 18. Bevo at 19. James Madison at 20. That team that Mizzle hates oh so much that wears blue that plays in Cameron, they're at 21. Virginia 22. Memphis 23. Wisconsin 24. And rounding out the top 25 is Ole Miss. That's in the AP. In the coaches poll, Purdue still 1, Kansas 2, Houston 3, 4 Arizona, 5 UConn, Marquette 6, Tennessee 7th, Oklahoma 8th, Kentucky 9th, Baylor 10th, 11 is Illinois, FAU is 12, North Carolina 13, Creighton 14, BYU 15, Gonzaga 16, 17 Colorado State, 18 Clemson, 19 Duke, West Virginia 20, James Madison 21, Texas 22, Memphis 23, Wisconsin 24, and Ole Miss at 25. And that is your top 25 in men's college basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, yeah. So, let's see here. Really? Jake Paul's going to fight in Puerto Rico. Interesting. Still waiting on final confirmation as we go back to. Still waiting on final confirmation as we go back to boxing with the Kambosos Vasily Lomachenko fight. Still waiting on the final contracts on that, but that should be coming up soon.
Yes, bring it.
But something you mentioned, something that you mentioned that I want to talk about,
Oh yes.
which is a very interesting take that you said. And you said, and I quote, and he sent me this in a text message at 7:52 p.m. He said that maybe, just maybe, Draymond Green might have to sit out the rest of the season. So, my good sir, elaborate on why you feel that way.
Well, of course, you want the veteran presence on the floor. You want that, but he's not the veteran presence that's needed right now. It's even with him going through whatever he's going through, he already told you who he's going to be. If you look at the team right now, what Kerr is putting on the floor seems to be working. I mean, I know 5 in a row they did play. They beat the Celtics, and the rest of the teams are not what we call subpar. They're subpar teams in the NBA.
But
what you're getting,
that's who you're supposed to beat.
Well, yes.
Thank you, Steve.
But yes.
Thank you, Steve.
But if you with the team that's going out right now, I like that. And I don't know if when Draymond Green comes back, is he going to be able to, whenever he comes back, we don't know how long that's going to be, but when he ever comes back, can he gel with what's going on right now? And would he mess up that nucleus? I'm just saying, either if he comes back, he has to come off the bench. He has to come off the bench if he comes back. But if he doesn't come back the rest of the season, I would like to see where this team goes. Just because now you get to see what Kuminga is really about. Now you get more Moses Moody. You know, you get the Davis and you get the young, you get the kids. You get to see what the kids.
Here's the thing, though, but Trace Jackson Davis is in a sense like Draymond, but you're getting more scoring out of Jackson Davis as you would out of Draymond.
Yes, also with his defense, because he made a tremendous block to help us get that one win. So yes, I agree. But then again, does he have the ability to bring the ball up the court as Draymond Green? You're gonna lose something with not having Draymond on the floor. But if Davis is a
You're
threat
not
to
wrong.
score,
You're not wrong.
if Davis is a
But I
threat to score, that's why you have CP3. See that's where you can have the subtraction of not having Draymond on the floor because that's where you have CP3. So that's where that signing comes in and plays a big factor. Don't get me wrong, I will miss Draymond Green because we all know he is the heartbeat of this team. But the heartbeat is right now is failing this team, and that's just how. And
well again,
I
when
may
he's been
I
on
may
the
get
court. No, no, you're not wrong. When he's been on the court, he's been more of a liability than an asset. And then
that
he will
yes
challenge every call known to man, and you're just like, Draymond, shut up and go play. Or if he's not, getting in his feelings, trying to argue with the ref, he's hitting people in the face. So he hasn't been what he has been because he's been too busy trying to, argue with everybody. And I'm hoping that this is humbling him per se, because again, he should have realized it in 2016 when this suspension cost the Warriors from going back to back. And yes, as much as we appreciate them winning the four titles, you didn't get the job done when you had the 73-19. That's a
now that
stain.
record don't mean shit.
That's a
That record
stain. That
don't
that,
mean
that
shit.
that's a stain. That's a stain that will be on that franchise forever because you were up 3 games to 1, and you want to dangle LeBron. You want to tangle with LeBron's scrotum, and thus you get suspended for Game 5. Which again, Draymond was magnificent in Game 7. Man played his ass off in Game 7 because he knew that it was his fault that they could have closed him out in 5 games, and they didn't. And now he's sitting there, and there's been a nice flow to the team without him there. And I'm hoping that he's watching this, he's observing this, he's like, well, doggone. As you would say, I need to get my shit together. And and
Yes,
and I need to just play basketball. So, I mean, that was just a very interesting take that you had. But I mean, they've won 5 in a row, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is beating the teams you're supposed to beat, and you try to break even against the upper echelon teams. Because here's what people are not understanding, and I guarantee you, I would say maybe 11 or 12 of the Warriors' losses have not been blowouts. This team does not get blown out when they lose. When they
no.
lose, it's close games down to the wire.
Or
A
they blow
basket here, a basket
leads.
there might be or they blow leads.
Imagine
But
those
this
20
team
when they were up
has not
20
gotten
points.
blown. This
Jesus.
team is not getting blown out like the Pistons are. They're not. And a lot of times, it's been these young kids. It's been Brandon Plazinski. It's been Davis, Jackson Davis. It's been Kaminga. It's been Moody. And it's like, damn it. What does Moses Moody got to do to get some more playing time, Steve Kerr? What more does he have to do? He shouldn't be just getting 10 minutes a night. Give him a Kaminga 20 minutes. They are showing you that they're not afraid of the moment. And plus, they both play on the defensive end, which is what you need right now.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
what you need. It's what you
Yes.
it's what you need. They both have the athleticism, and they're both playing
Yes.
defense.
Yes.
But not to mention, the defense is only going to get tighter. It is only going to get tighter when GP2 makes his return, and then that's another key cog coming off the bench with his defense and with his energy.
Yes.
If the Warriors get their parts back, don't be shocked if they start reeling off wins. Now, that's not taken away, and that's not saying, yes, by God, by all means, they need a big man. They need some length. They need somebody with some
That's number
wingspan.
one.
They still need
Yes.
that. That's about the
Yes.
only thing, truthfully, that they're missing is a big man. Now, granted, yes, Jackson Davis has been a very good rim protector.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's 6'9".
But you need that length.
You
You need
still
that
do need a
length.
little bit of size and length. You you you,
Eh,
you need that
yes.
in the NBA. Now,
Yes.
granted, yes. Now, granted, yes. Having a true center doesn't mean you necessarily win the title no more, unless your name is Nikola Jokic. But then again, he's a big man that can shoot, and he's a big man that can pass, and he's just a walking triple double every day, like Luka Doncic is. However, um, recent NBA has shown us you don't need a really true five to win the title, as it was, back in our day when we were growing up, because you needed the big man. However, and I know Mike Dunleavy Jr. is working on something. I know Kurt Lacob is working on something, but I mean, if you can add size without training without trading part of your future, because that's the one thing that fears me. Because again, like I said, Pazinski, Jackson Davis, Moody, and Kaminga, you can build around those four when the three wise men hang up their jerseys and their shorts. You can build with those four.
Yeah.
You really can, dadgummit.
Oh,
So
I don't disagree
that
with
would just
that.
be my only concern about that.
Yeah.
But again, they're playing tremendous ball. Winning 5 in a row. Obviously, going to Denver in the altitude on Christmas will never be easy. But um, it will be a fun time on Christmas as the NFL is going up against the NBA. Um, because you got football games on ESPN, you got basketball games on ESPN, and well, I mean, Christmas is going to be a busy day for you and me sports wise because all of our teams play on Christmas Day. So that'll be a very, very interesting day of sports. But what
Oh,
now?
before any,
We get to be
before any um, if you're watching our show on Instagram in about 2 minutes, it will end because IG only allows about
we
an
can only do an
hour for.
hour.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we'll say we appreciate you
But for
now if you're
those that
watching us on Instagram live.
yeah, if you're watching us on Instagram live, we appreciate you and thank you for tuning in with us.
I'm not putting that on my
Yes,
show,
Steve, I
bro.
agree with you.
Oh, oh,
um,
fuck. There it is. There
Steve, Steve, if you can answer, Steve, Steve, if you can answer this question, how many bottles of Bacardi have you had tonight? Just answer that for me. If you're still viewing this show right now,
And that's about all the screen time you get right there with
and we
that quote. It's about that. Let's get that. So
so since we get to be fans today on Christmas Eve, um, what
yes,
game are you looking forward to watching and seeing the most today?
I don't know, man. I just wow.
Oh, that's great.
That's a
That's great.
it's a good time. Love it, love it. But as to pick what I want to watch, I don't know. I just want to sit back and just watch sports until I got to go to work. I'll be at work um today later on today. So, but I'll be in
Well, two games for me.
a festive mood.
Well, two games for me
What you got?
obviously is the interesting to see the Cowboys and Dolphins. Two teams at 10-4. One team trying to bounce back after a win. Um, the Dolphins trying to get a game closer to Baltimore for home field in the AFC. Um, and for me, the Lions and Vikings, because I think if the Lions win today, I think that will officially give them their first division title since they won the old NFC Central back in
Oh,
1993.
damn!
So that is
Years
one
old.
thing. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yes.
yes. You were 10. You were 10. I was 11. The last time the Detroit Lions had a division title. And that's when they were playing in the old Silver Dome in Pontiac, Michigan, where, of course, Barry Sanders was running through
Yeah,
and juking defenders,
the
and
turf.
Herman Moore and Brett Perryman were catching
Ooh,
catching
throwback
passes.
day.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Stop it.
If you don't know who Herman Moore is, you need to go
Oh,
on
well, I'm about
YouTube
to say.
and you
Sorry.
just need to watch film on Herman Moore. You want to talk about a guy that could catch the ball and go up and get the ball? Herman Moore was right
Mm-hmm.
up there in the early to mid 90s with Sterling Sharp and Jerry Rice as far as grabbing receptions. And if I'm not mistaken, Herman Moore had the record for most receptions in a single season.
I wouldn't doubt. I
Now,
wouldn't
EJ
doubt.
was if you're serious about asking that question, Herman Moore,
I wouldn't doubt that
but
you
I'll
said
just
he
answer
did.
the question. If you don't know who that is, Herman Moore played for the Lions in the mid 90s, was teammate of Barry Sanders, but Herman Moore was very good at receptions and had some very good years playing with Detroit under Wade Fonts and under Scott Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we do have an award that bears Scott Mitchell's name for bonehead plays, but him and Scott Mitchell was a very good tandem at in Detroit when the Lions had some good teams that could score. They
Yeah.
just couldn't do crap in the playoffs, but that's just here nor there. But those are the two games I'm really looking interesting to see. The Battle of Florida between Tampa Bay and Jacksonville. Will Sunshine play? Will he not play? That's a very interesting question. And yeah,
Huh?
if
We're
CJ
still
Stroud was playing, I really would say,
live on IG. They
oh,
didn't cut us
we're st-
off. Still,
we're
we're
still
still live.
connected. Oh wow,
Yeah.
interesting. But if CJ Stroud was playing, I really would say the Texans and Browns would really be interesting, just because you got the
Yes.
Texans. The Texans one went away from having a winning season under D'Amico Ryans, and we know how bad the Texans were last year.
Yeah.
So the Texans um, starting a year early to some people as far as getting back in the process, but again, with D'Amico Ryans being the head coach, we're not surprised by that.
Not at all.
Um, for the life of me, I really don't understand why they're putting the Patriots and the Broncos in the 5 o'clock game. For the life of me, I can't understand it. Now, thankfully, that game will be on NFL Network, but still, why are we still putting the Patriots under the lights? They're 3-11. What? Okay,
That game
I
out real
don't
quick.
I don't care that Bill Belichick, who has
Excuse me.
cheated obscurity, because again, when Tom Brady's not his quarterback, he's an under 500 coach for life. But
He's
I've
underachieving.
already beat I've already beat that dead horse. I don't know how many times, but I'll keep doing it just to prove my point. Um, I don't care that he's
It's
trying to
true.
chase Don Shula's record. I don't. Okay. I'm tired of seeing the Patriots in prime time. Okay. I said on this show when Tom Brady decided to go put on the pewter and go play for the Buccaneers.
Not the pewter.
It is somewhere in these archives of our 143 episodes that we've done on the show in the 3 years we've done the show. I said, and I quote, do not be surprised if the Patriots go back to sucking, because that's who they were before Tom Brady got there. Sprinkling a couple of playoff seasons here and there, but the Patriots mainly sucked.
Facts. Big facts.
And if you don't believe me, go look at your history.
Raiders.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like I said, Bill Belichick, the head coach, needs to fire Bill Belichick, the GM. And then
Straight up.
and then they were talking about rumors that were possibly if they let the hoodie go at the end of the year, some people say he might end up in Inglewood with the Chargers, and I'm like, why? I'm like, Dean Spanos, do you really want to do that? And if you give him team control over the roster, why would you want to do that? Oh, you want him to take the job so he can suck. Okay. Okay. Well,
Just let
I
him
mean,
continue to suck. Why change? That's all you know how to
but
do. Just suck.
well, I mean, hey, it is what it is. All right. So last recap before we call it a night and go take naps. Um, I actually do get to go to service tomorrow, which is a good thing, as the
Oh,
A7FL gets 2 weeks off of the fall brawl, so they can celebrate their loved ones and celebrate the holidays with their loved ones. Um, where am I going here? What sport am I looking for? Where are you? Yes, there we go. Okay, so um, in today's or yesterday's bowl, actually, let's go back to Thursday. Or let's go back to Tuesday. Okay, let's go back to Monday. In the Toastery Bowl, Western Kentucky and over beat 5. Coopers Coffee Frisco Bowl, Texas San Antonio beats Marshall 35-17. In the roofclaim.com Boca
yeah.
Raton Bowl, South Florida puts up a 40 burger as they shut out Syracuse 45 nothing. In the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Central Florida was up 17-3, but Georgia Tech's hit home win in the Gasparilla Bowl by a final score of 30-17. Over San Jose State. San Jose State finishes the year 7-6. In the Birmingham Bowl, brought to you by Unical 76, Duke beats Troy 17-10. In the Camilla Bowl, Northern Illinois beats Arkansas State 21-19. In the Armed Forces Bowl, Army score as they beat James Madison 31-21 as the Wildcats ran, and ran some more. And Mr. Emmanuel Michael, um, 35 carries, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is putting in work for the young Air Force Airmen.
Word.
Georgia State beat Utah State in the Idaho Potatoes Bowl on the Smurf turf, 45-22. In
French
the
fry.
68 Ventures Bowl, South Alabama beats Eastern Michigan 59-10. And here in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium in the Las Vegas Bowl, Uncle Wilbon's beloved Northwestern Wildcats get the win 14-7 over the Utah
Oh,
Utes. As yeah, it was a
oh,
very defensive game. Very defensive game. Northwestern had a 7-0 lead at the half. Utah tied it at 7, but in the end, Bryce Kurtz catches a 19-yard touchdown pass from Ben Bryant as Northwestern gets the win over the Utes as Utah turned the ball over twice as both teams finished with the 8-5 record. And yeah, when you turn the ball over 3 times, you normally don't win many college basketball games or college football games.
true.
But that's there. Of course, Tuesday we got some more college bowl games after the NFL and NBA. We got the First Responders Bowl between Rice and Texas State. That's at 2:30 p.m. The Quick Lane Bowl between Bowling Green and Minnesota. That's at Tuesday at 11 a.m. And the nightcap at 6 p.m. as the Kansas Jayhawks in the Guarantee Rate Bowl take on the UNLV Rebels as UNLV tries to get their 10th win of the season. And that game's in Phoenix. That's at 6 p.m. All games you can catch on ESPN. And then on Wednesday, we got Tulane and Virginia Tech in the Military Bowl. And North Carolina and West Virginia, both teams 8-4 in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and the tradition of the head coach getting a Gatorade shower full of mayonnaise. Yikes and
Sprinting off
yuck
the
at
field.
the same time.
Sprinting off the
And of
field.
course, in the Holiday Bowl, Louisville at 10-3 takes on USC. Go Louisville. And in the Texas Bowl, we got Texas A&M and Oklahoma State. So more bowl mania for your everyday college bowl needs. As wow, hard to believe we are almost to 2024, and that means it's my man's birthday month. But anyhow,
Waiting from January 1st.
thank you to
all
everyone
the
that
way.
rocked with us on Instagram Live.
Yes. Thank you.
We appreciate all of our guests that watch us on Instagram Live. And of course, those that chimed in here on YouTube, of course, we appreciate y'all. Like I said, we can't do this without y'all. To our 71 subscribers, we appreciate you. Thank you. A pat on the back for myself because I don't sound like me, but I'm still doing a doggone show because that's just what we do. And orange juice is your best friend. But anyhow, episode 144 is in the books of the Mizzle and Dub Show. We covered boxing, we've covered NFL, NBA, college bowl games. And salute to you two, our good friend and brother of the program, our, as we like to call him, our basketball insider, the one, the only Mr. Steve Coogan. He's probably on his 7th glass of party. Wouldn't surprise me, but nonetheless. This has been the Mizzle and Dub Show, episode number 144 in the books. That's a very big bottle. He is Mizzle. I'm Dub, and to all of us here at the Mizzle and Dub Show, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the holiday with your loved ones. Please be safe.
Be safe.
Don't drink and drive. And as always, take care of yourself and each other. God bless all. And as always, it's 5 o'clock. Some damn where. And you've been watching number 144 of the Mizzle Dub Show.